Hi friends, Laura Kromzak here, and this is the Disney Slowdown where I'm going to help you plan your magical vacation with your special needs kids. Slow down, savor the moments, make the most of your vacation, stay within your budget, and have a great time. That is always the goal because we know with our kids they could be easily triggered, and there's not enough pixie dust in Magic Kingdom or anywhere else to sprinkle on them to make sure that everything goes the way that we want it to. So, as promised, I said that I would walk through each park with you and give you some tips and tricks. Also, find maybe some hidey holes or some unique things that you definitely want to focus on, especially with your kids, and where to find the good water. Because you can get free courtesy water in the parks. You do not have to be lugging a bunch of water bottles in your backpacks. You get free ice and free water, but not all free water is created equal. Sometimes it comes out of the Orlando tap and it's sulfury and it tastes gross, but I'm going to show you where to get the good stuff. All right, let's get started. First of all, we are going to start in Animal Kingdom. I know you didn't expect me to start in Animal Kingdom, did you? You thought I was going right for the big one, right for magic. Nope. We're going to start with Animal Kingdom. And I feel like Animal Kingdom does not get the love that it truly deserves. And I was just as guilty with this. I also considered it a half-day park. It is nowhere near a half-day park. There are still things on my list to do when we go into Animal Kingdom that I haven't gotten to yet. So there's just so much, so many layers in each of these parks, and you can focus on the things that are important for your family and important for your kids. There are not as many attractions, rides. I'm gonna divide this out, right? Disney likes to call everything an attraction. And while it is, there's a difference between an attraction that might be an animal in their natural habitat versus a thrill ride. I'm going to drop the attractions term that Disney likes to use, and I'm going to focus on rides, entertainment, and then other things to see. Maybe we'll find another name. I don't know. But I think the best way for me to go through these parks with you is using your app. So if you want to download your My Disney Experience app now, you can go ahead and do that. If you don't already have an account, create an account. If you have tickets already purchased, you want to make sure those are linked in your app most definitely before you go, because I'm going to have a short showing you how to get into the virtual queue. The new rides that come out, more than likely they'll go on a virtual queue. Animal Kingdom does not have that anymore. Flight of Passage used to be on the virtual queue. It is no longer, but they do have currently Guardians of the Galaxy in Epcot, and they have Tron in Magic Kingdom. Now, when Tiana's Bayou comes out, which is the rethemed Splash Mountain, will that be on a virtual queue? Probably. Will Tron get off the virtual queue? We don't know. So it's always a good idea to go ahead and get familiar with the virtual queue. Right now, you don't have to worry about that with Animal Kingdom, but be watching out for that short. So, Animal Kingdom. From the moment you walk into the gates, there are things to see. There's animals in their habitat. You can walk on trails. So a lot of people, I feel like they get to the gate and they get right to Discovery Island, and then they decide which land they're going to go see. Most people are going to head, there's two places they're going to head. They're going to head right over to Flight of Passage in Pandora, or they're going to head up to Kilimanjaro Safaris. And while that's a good rope drop tactic, it's not necessarily the tactic that you want to use with your kids when you're trying to slow down and take everything in and just kind of go at their pace. Because we know that pushing our children and, trying to get into that hype and that excitement is going to backfire on us. So we don't want to do that. All right, I think the best way for me to show you Animal Kingdom and any of the parks, as a matter of fact, is to travel by map. So I know there's no Muppets in Animal Kingdom, but I've always loved that about the Muppets. So we are going to travel by map.
Open up the My Disney Experience app. See that upcoming plans? Hit My Day. Push that button, get started now. And I recommend going through the tip board at least the first time. Select your day, and then you'll scroll down and select your park. And today we are going to Animal Kingdom. Confirm your party and then hit continue. Now, if you just keep scrolling down, it's going to want you to highlight whatever is important to you. So you can select, first they're going to go through the attractions and you can select these, and then they're going to show up on your home page. You cannot select too many items because it will error you out, but this gives it a good idea of what you're looking for. So just select a few, and now we're here to the dining part. And if they're not important to you, then just skip over that, and then any kind of extras, and it also tells you what's not available. This next section is just summing up your interests, so click whatever is appropriate for you and then hit continue. This screen is just telling us that there's no more individual lightning lanes available for Avatar, but we don't care, so just skip it, and here's our front page. Click on the map icon at the bottom, and we're going to go ahead and select which park, which is Animal Kingdom, and then you can hit the apply button. It's automatically going to default to wait time, so let's just scroll in and get a good picture. You can see there where the gate is, and then you walk in. The middle part is Discovery Island, and then each of your lands are on the sides. If you hit that 120 on the bottom left, you're going to see that that's Avatar Flight of Passage, and yes, it's got a 120-minute wait. That is not uncommon. Clicking on the attraction, you can read a little bit more about it. You can scroll down and see a description, see if it's something that you want to try with your family. And if you go back up to the top, right next to the LL, which is Lightning Lane, if you have the DAS, there's going to be a DAS there and a return time. You can also see if it's expected to have a high wait time for the duration of the ride. Now it's going to try to tell you all about the benefits of having Genie Plus and paying for that and getting a lightning lane, but with a DAS you do not need Genie Plus or individual lightning lanes. You can see here with the tip board everything that we've selected as something that we were interested in, and that's going to show up on your tip board. Let me get back to the map again. Now, do you see that star? That is Navi River Journey. It is down for some reason, temporarily unavailable. This is going to happen quite a bit, so prepare yourself, prepare your children. But thankfully, they do come back up usually. It's not usually down for the rest of the day, so just keep checking back if Navi River is on your list of things to do. When you pull up anything on the map and it has an LL, which is Lightning Lane, then you're going to be able to use your DAS on that as well, including character meet and greets, but not all characters are going to have that option. If you go up to the top right corner of the map, that's Kilimanjaro Safaris. That's also very popular, but I can tell you that with the DAS, you don't have to rush to get there. Let's move to the bottom right of the map. That's Dinoland USA, and you can see Dinosaur 5-minute wait and Triceratops Spin 5-minute wait. That's pretty typical. Move up into Asia. Expedition Everest is really the only roller coaster here, and you can see it might be a 35-minute wait now, but you can tell that it's going to drop off drastically by the afternoon. If we head back to Discovery Island, I'm trying to find, it's tough to be a bug. It's usually only a 10-minute wait. It's one of those things that you could DAS, but it's really not necessary. It's only ever a 10-minute wait, and you're not getting in any faster. So I would not use a DAS on that, but it's so much fun, and it's underneath the Tree of Life. And look, Navi River is back up, and it's a 70-minute wait. Another good one to DAS. Okay, if you go up to the top, instead of wait times, let's pull that menu down and we will select characters. It's going to automatically give you the big picture of the park, so just zoom in and then you can see where all the characters are. Now, a lot of these characters are actually walking around, so that might just be where they are at the current moment. All of these do tend to hang out in Dino Land, except Kevin. I've seen Kevin over on Discovery Island, so that might just be where he is right now. Now let's drop down and check out the attractions again, and I want you to zoom in all the way to the front gate. Those stars are animals that you can see on your way to Discovery Island, and a lot of people just skip over those. And honestly, there's a lot of trails right there, some really pretty plants, so you could really spend some time here. I've got one child who loves to look around. As we cross the bridge, you're going to see the Wilderness Explorer hut, and that's where you can pick up your booklet to be a Wilderness Explorer and go and collect all of the badges around the park. That is really a lot of fun. Both on this map and in the inside of the Wilderness Explorer book, you're going to have a map that shows you all of the stickers that you can get. There are activities in there your kids can do, so it's just an endless amount of fun that they can sit and work on while, you're taking a little break. All of those little stars that you see on this map are going to be animals that you can see on Discovery Island. And if you go back behind the Tree of Life, you're going to be able to look at all the carvings that's on the tree. It's really fascinating. There's also a Play Disney Park feature here in this park as well. We really enjoy the It's Tough to Be a Bug show, and it's only 10 minutes. It's a really short show. Definitely worth it. Let's go back up to the top and select wait times from the pull down, and then we're going to go back to the rides, and I want to show you Kilimanjaro Safari. If you take a look at it, the brown road that looks really long, well, it is, that is the safari, and you're in a bus, and it's kind of rickety, but it's a lot of fun, and you will see so many animals up there. And the drivers are really good about kind of chasing the animals down if they see one so that you can get good pictures from the van. It's really nice. Common misconception is that you can only see them first thing in the morning, which is why this is a popular rope drop ride, but that's not necessarily true. If you have a rainy day, or especially like a drizzly day, then they're definitely going to be out. If the park is open and it's getting cooler and a little darker, then the animals will probably be out as well. Depending on when we actually get to the park, we will scan into the park, and if we're there kind of early in the morning when it's a good time, or if it's a little drizzly, then we will go ahead and DAS Kilimanjaro Safaris first. And when you pull up the ride, you will see that it peaks, and kind of drops off at 11, and then noon to closing, it's practically dead. So you could technically just go and walk on it. If you hit it at the very end of the day, you probably wouldn't even need to use a DAS, but you could always DAS it if you got there first thing in the morning. I definitely recommend going ahead and hitting the DAS if that's your priority attraction when you scan in, because by the time you get back there, then you'll be able to slip right into the lightning lane. Flight of Passage is the most popular attraction in the park. Your DAS button will be right next to that lightning lane, and you can just select it and then watch for your time. So now let's go down to entertainment. Festival of the Lion King is in Africa. Definitely worth. It's only a 30-minute show. It's so amazing. Again, you can DAS it, but the shows are going to be every hour on the hour. They're 30 minutes long. You're going to have to wait in line. You're not going to probably wait any longer than 30 minutes, but if it's something that you're afraid you're going to miss, then go ahead and DAS it. I just wouldn't use a DAS. I would probably DAS Navi River or Flight of Passage and then go up and watch the Festival of the Lion King. Look at all the streetmosphere that's around Animal Kingdom. It's just so much fun. Back up to attractions and let's go ahead and zoom in on Africa. There are so many animals that you're going to be able to see. There's a whole bunch of different pathways back there in Africa that you're going to be able to walk. That whole trek, that kind of the gray road, that's a walkable, that's Gorilla Falls. And you're also going to have more Wilderness Explorer badges that you can collect on Gorilla Falls, so it's definitely worth taking the tour around. Africa is also where you catch the train up to Rafiki's Planet Watch. That is a great place and where you're going to find the animation experience. Rafiki's Planet is just a great place to get away. There's not going to be a whole lot of people up there at any given time. The animation experience is definitely worth it. The veterinary clinic's up there. There's a petting zoo. And when you're ready, you just come back down on the train. You also have more Wilderness Explorer badges to collect up there. I think there's a total of 5 or 6. Zooming out a little bit, you can see how spread out Animal Kingdom is. You definitely don't want to go back and forth like we have done. I would suggest starting either in Dino Land, USA, or heading left to Pandora. But let's go check out Dino Land. There's a boneyard here that they can kind of just dig around and play and have fun. Animal Kingdom really is the poster child for slow down and just take it all in. There aren't many rides in Animal Kingdom, but the shows, the fun character meet and greets in their safari outfits or Chip and Dale are wearing their dino outfits, it really is a great place to just kind of chill. The main ride in Dinoland USA is called Dinosaur currently. Yes, Dinoland USA is going to be rethemed. We just don't know when. There's no dates yet. So currently it is called Dinosaur and it's a rough ride. I got a little ill on it, so just be warned. I don't imagine that when it's rethemed the ride will change any because they're talking about Indiana Jones, but you're in an exploring wagon, I guess, or a vehicle, and the road is rough, and I did it once. I'm not excited about doing it ever again. Besides the boneyard that the kids can, it's like a playground, you're also going to have some carnival games there. Triceratops Spin, that's the only other really ride in Dino Land, but it just looks like a big carnival. And Dino Land is where you're going to find the most normal food and Restaurantosaurus. You're going to have your pizza and your chicken nuggets and your burgers. It's always nice to pull up the menus and see what's available and see if your kids will even eat it. If you have adventurous eaters, this is a great park for them. And I highly recommend going ahead and using that mobile order feature if it's available at the restaurant that you're looking at. And when you select the mobile order, you're actually going to see pictures of the food, and some of the menus don't have pictures. So if they need a picture, then I would go ahead and open up the mobile order. You don't have to process the order to see it. And when you see assorted fountain drinks on the menu, that means that they will give you courtesy water as well. You can just walk up to the counter and ask for courtesy water. Now, if they're not really busy, most of the time they're going to hit that water button on the fountain. They are not going to just pull it out of the sink. But if they are busy, then you probably want to go to a different location, because that's where I have seen them actually fill a pitcher with tap water and then pour it into the ice cups and hand it to you. That's going to be your sulfury water. I've had better luck in Animal Kingdom getting filtered water at most locations than, well, Magic Kingdom's horrible. There's only a few in Magic Kingdom that will actually give you good water. One of the best snack items in Animal Kingdom is across the bridge from Asia into Discovery Island, and it is called Eight Spoons Cafe. They have an amazing, it is a pulled pork over baked mac and cheese with a couple of pickles on top. It doesn't cost very much. It's totally shareable and well worth the price. Just cheesy goodness and protein. We love to get that. I've heard the pulled pork on a jelly donut is really good, but please, I know it's tempting. Don't buy the Mickey pretzel with the cheese. It's just not worth it. It's really gross, in my opinion. Everybody can do without one of those. You also want to pay attention to the times that the restaurants are open, because I know Eight Spoons Cafe closes earlier than the park does, and that would be really sad. I almost missed it once when I went there, and I went specifically to get that pulled pork over mac and cheese, and I was within like 10 minutes of them closing. And just like Gorilla Falls over in Africa, in Asia you have the Maharaja Jungle Trek. You also are going to be able to see flotillas of characters along this river right here. It's really fun to be walking along and you hear the music, and so you can go over to the amphitheater, or you can just go to the edge where the wall is and you can see the characters and wave to them and get pictures. It's a lot of fun. You have way more animals to see here and more Wilderness Explorer badges to collect. It's right next to Kali River Rapids, which is a water ride. It's currently down for refurbishment. It'll probably be open again in the spring, so you'll probably get an opportunity to ride it. And you could get wet. You're not going to get totally soaked or drenched. One time I rode it and all I got was a few sprinkles. The second time I rode it and my pants were really wet. So just be mindful of that if you have a kiddo who doesn't like to get themselves wet, or if you would prefer not to be wet and it's kind of cold outside. Another fun show back here in Asia is called Feathered Friends in Flight, where you're going to be able to go into the Anandapur Theater and learn all about some of the birds that live here in Animal Kingdom. And here's all the different flotillas you can see throughout the day. You never know who's going to be coming down that river. The Finding Nemo show is also over here in Asia, and you'll notice when you pull up the times that most of the stage shows are going to end between 4 and 5 o'clock for their last showing. So if shows are something that you want to prioritize in any of the parks, I would definitely do them earlier in the day, because the rides will be open the entirety of the park, but these shows are going to end, your last showing's going to be before 5 usually. Before we leave Asia, let's visit the Yeti at Expedition Everest. This is a roller coaster, a little bit of a thrill ride. It goes backwards on the track for a bit of it, and you get to see the Yeti, which is a lot of fun. My kids love this ride. Now, if you're over in Asia and the wait time tends to be long, then yeah, go ahead and DAS it and maybe collect some Wilderness Explorer badges or watch the flotillas. But most of the time, you're going to get this like 15 minutes, maybe 20 for a wait time. We have some fun ride photos on that ride too. Animal Kingdom will close earlier than all the other parks on any given day. It can be as early as 6 p.m. or it might actually stay open till 7 or 8. It just depends on the season. But if you can be there when it's dark outside, then you definitely want to go over to Pandora and walk around. The bioluminescence, which is also just glow in the dark, is out, and it's so much fun to walk around there and take pictures of all of the glowing items and the alien plants. Then hopefully there will also be a show at the Tree of Life. You get to watch the projections and listen to the music. This usually happens during the wintertime after daylight savings has been lifted. All in all, between the rides, the animals, collecting your Wilderness Explorer badges, and of course all of the shows and the streetmosphere and the characters, this is definitely not just a half-day park. You have plenty to do here, and I find it to be the most relaxing and probably the most fun. And as always, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell. We will see you in the next video, which is going to be my absolute favorite park. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in the next one.